Welcome back to the Style Stories podcast. This is a brand new series. I've had a bit of a longer break than expected, but I'm very excited to be back. I'm going to explain why I've been away for so long, what you can expect from the podcast, and who I am and why I'm qualified really to have this podcast that talks about style, image and fashion and lots of tips and tricks to get your wardrobe really into shape. So if you are one of my existing listeners, you've been listening to the Style Stories for a while, welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking with me. It means the world to me. People email me in questions, all of that. I love hearing from my listeners. Leave me 5-star reviews. If you've taken the time out to write a review for me, a huge thank you to you. Because as I said, I do this by myself. I don't have a producer or a studio behind me, so it really does mean the world to me. And I'm so glad that you're getting value from my podcast. If you're new to the podcast, welcome. What can you expect? Well, I'm going to be going through in this series, this new series. I really want to whip your wardrobe into shape and really share the tips and tricks that I have learnt over the last 15 years of being a personal stylist in London. So I think it's a good time to reintroduce myself to those who already know me and introduce myself to any newbies that are listening today. So I'm Lisa Gilby. I'm a personal stylist. I have had my own business in London for the last 15 years, working with people from all different backgrounds, but mostly I work with very senior professionals and business owners to help them to get a really excellent wearable wardrobe that feels like them, because usually they just don't have the time to do it. There's so much choice in the shops. It's really overwhelming to find the clothes that work for you. Also, we're bombarded with lots of choice from influencers and magazines and online and newspaper articles, wear this, buy this, etc. It's really overwhelming. Lots and lots of people have got a wardrobe stuffed full of clothes that actually they don't really feel like wearing. And why is that? And that's really why I started this podcast. So I don't just talk about here. I mean, it's a podcast, so you're listening. I mean, I am on YouTube. You can go and watch me record this podcast on YouTube. But it's words. It's not showing the clothes, because clothes aren't just two-dimensional. And that really is the thing that I try and get to on this podcast, is the why behind clothes. There is so much psychology behind it. What you wear is an extension of your identity. It's how you present yourself to the world. It's also how people see you. You can manipulate that. You can make people see you as a lot more professional than you are if you're trying to fake it before you make it. If you are really, really senior, you can look the part. So you are the part completely as a whole. So how you look and what you say as well, it's a whole package. What you wear, if you're not happy with it, is something that you can change easily with the tips and tricks that I'm going to share on this podcast. And it is so, so common to get into style ruts. So style rut is when you just buy the same things over and over again and you don't know how to break out of that style rut. Or maybe you've got a bit of a mindset thing going on around clothes where someone said something to you years ago that holds back your style. I really delve into that, because those kinds of comments that people make can dull your creativity and push you then into the style rut, make you stay in a kind of beige zone, I like to call it. So beige yourself down when you could be really having fun with the clothes that make you feel fantastic. It's so true that if you look good, you feel good. And I'm hugely passionate about this topic. And I still have so much to say about this topic. And this new series, what I've done is I've asked my listeners what their style dilemmas are. And I'm going to create episodes from actual style questions. So it's going to be relatable, hopefully, to you as well, listening at home. So things that people say in my free Facebook group and emails that I get, and over on Instagram as well. So if you'd like to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram at Lisa Gilby Stylist, or come and join my free Facebook group, which is Style Power with Lisa Gilby. I'd love to see you there. So what can you expect from the next few episodes of this podcast? I am going to have to look at some notes now, so anyone watching on YouTube. So these are some of the questions and some of the topics I'm going to be covering over the next few weeks. Things that hold back your style. And that's going to be stuff like money mindset issues, things people have said to you, the environment that you grew up in. There are so many different factors that can hold back your style. How to declutter your wardrobe. That's a really good one. Lots of people hang on to clothes that they don't wear anymore, but they feel like they need to hang on to them because they cost money and they feel guilty about letting go of them. Or they think maybe if they don't fit into the clothes anymore, one day they will fit into them. So they keep these things hanging in the wardrobe. And all it is clutter that gets in the way of finding a good outfit. That's going to be a good one. The next one is my current favourite brands, and it might not be in this order, but lots of people say to me in the questions I get, they don't know where to shop anymore. The high street is shifting. Lots of brands have moved online. Most recognisable, not most, but lots of recognisable brands have now moved online. New brands are emerging, so I'm going to be giving you my lowdown of new brands to watch out for and how I feel about certain stalwarts of the high street that may not be as good as they used to be. I'm just going to be giving my opinion on that and where to shop now and my recommendations for that. Where to shop on the high street is definitely going to be included in that as well. How to find your style mojo, how to revamp your style as well, because lots of people get lost, like I've mentioned before, stuck in a style rut, end up buying the same things over and over again and have no idea how to break out of that. So that's going to be an episode that I'm going to be covering that topic. Top tips for outfit building. I have a few tricks up my sleeve from 15 years of working as a personal stylist that I've learned. There are simple things you can do to make sure your wardrobe flows. Your wardrobe should deliver for every aspect of your life. So we all need different types of a capsule wardrobe. There is no one size fits all capsule wardrobe. There can't be. We don't all need a trench coat and a white t-shirt and loafers. We don't. That's a fact. So I've got some tips and tricks to find out what your particular individual capsule wardrobe is. And that really is the holy grail. And that's why talking on this podcast is so valuable, because we can delve down deep. It's not just two-dimensional. Fashion is visual, yes, but the why behind clothes really drives you towards, when you understand that and understand what you really love and why, then you can build a wardrobe that is truly functional for you and your individual needs. Also, how to get a smart casual wardrobe. That's something I get asked over and over again. It's actually really tricky. A really quick tip, always err on the side of smart, particularly if you're at work. Try not to go too casual. Lots of people are going super casual now. I'm happy with that because I'm a relaxed, natural dresser. So for me, it suits my style personality. Some other people go too far the other way and they're just too casual and end up looking scruffy. That's going to be another topic I'm going to really delve into on the podcast, because this is actually the most important thing you can find out about your own style is, what is your style type? What is your style personality? Why do boho dresses look good on one person and you love them, but they don't work on you and they feel wrong on you? Why is that? There's something in you that means you can't carry it off, even though on paper, not you can't carry it off, that's the wrong thing to say, but that isn't right for you. Just because it's right for someone else doesn't mean it's right for you. So what we're going to be doing on the podcast is working out what is right for you and then focusing in on that. The other thing I'm going to cover is date night outfit ideas after the age of 40. That's something that I get asked quite a lot, because I suppose traditionally, date night, you're all sexy. How do you do sexy when you're past 40? That's going to be another topic. Hybrid working from home outfits as well, and autumn winter trends. Lots of content there that I'm going to be covering over the next few episodes, so please stick with me. If you struggle with your wardrobe at all, if you feel that it's cluttered, full of clothes that don't really make your heart sing, and you would really love to shake it up, I'm going to be sharing all my stylist tips and tricks with you over the coming episodes. I'm also going to do a bit of a process. So every good wardrobe starts with a declutter. So each episode you listen to, I'm going to be covering the practical side of styling as well. So not just the topics that I've just read out to you there, which come from questions I've actually been asked from my audience. I'm going to cover the practical side of styling that I learned years ago when I trained as a stylist at London College of Fashion and then as an image consultant as well. And from dressing people, real people, not models who are, paper thin, people with bodies, and, we've all got bodies, but people with big hips, big boobs, big thighs, whatever. There are ways to dress different body types. This is the practical side of styling. So colour analysis, what cuts and styles to wear for each body type, how to add a belt, things like that. So I'm going to be covering the practical, technical aspects of styling as well on the podcast. I'm so excited to be back. This first episode is very much a setting the scene and just letting you know what you can expect from the next few episodes that I'm going to be recording. You can watch, as I've mentioned, you can watch me recording the podcast on YouTube, Lisa Gilby Style Consultancy. I'm over on there. You can follow me on Instagram at Lisa Gilby Stylist, or you can join my free Facebook group, Style Power with Lisa Gilby. Now, I love hearing from my listeners because I'm always looking for content. Obviously, I've got a lot to cover in this series, but if there's anything that you're struggling with, particularly yourself, and you would love me to cover it on the podcast, just drop me an email or send me a DM over on Instagram. And my email is lisa@lisagilbystyle.com.